justice, and you're watching the Ancient News Network. We begin today's special with a man thinking there's a great flood.
Hi, I'm Mr. Eugene Krabs here to interview Mr. Frank Bob. Mr. Bob, what do you say about the flood here?
No. I have one picture. I came across a small fish, and then it told me to put it in a jar, so I did. But then it grew until it fit to the ocean. Then it told me there's a great flood, and I need to make a boat.
Back to you.
Thank you. In our studio today, we have Christine Taquito, our local scientist and co-anchor woman. Hello. Hi. Now, Christine, I heard that this guy at Quincy's Madu forgot to mention something.
Yes, he totally indeed left out some parts. His story actually relates to the flood myth, an Indian flood myth, and there's the same guy named Manu, and he has the same story, but he forgot that the fish is actually the Lord Natsya himself. He's actually a big horned fish that fitted the ocean, and the fish guided him when the flood started. Do you see now?
Yeah, I see. Is there any other stories that?
Well, there's one called Hiking, and it's like a Chinese version of Noah's flood. There's a man called Fuhi, and his family were the only ones that survived the Great Flood of China, and so it has the same storyline, but there was no God. It was only him. That he built his own boat, and then once the flood subsided, the Chinese considered him the father of civilization because him and his family repopulated the whole world.
Okay, so can I see what you have here? So let me compare. So the story of Manu is from Hinduism because it features the god Matsya, and the hiking or however you say it is, it's just a Chinese tale and no religion connects to it, so it's not really similar except for the flood.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. The similarities we see here are that they built boats too to survive the Great Flood, and they also brought their family as well. And they're the only ones to survive after the Great Flood. You see?
I see. So now we'll have a commercial break.
Have you had the urge to sing?
How this way?
You might have boys to men or girls to women disease.
As terrible as floods may seem, there's actually some benefits from them.
Yes, rivers have nutrients in them. As water washes over the land, it's leaving nutrients in the soil, making the area good for farming, and it made the soil very fertile. This was very beneficial to many ancient civilizations, including ancient Egypt.
Wow, so floodwaters also help provide ancient civilizations with their daily needs, such as drinking water and bathing water.
Yes, that's right, exactly. Speaking of large floods, are you guys wondering if it actually happened?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, a recent finding by marine archaeologist, Robert Ballard, found evidence that a large flood might have actually happened.
Yes, Robert Ballard used technology to dive down 400 feet into the Black Sea, and guess what they found? An ancient shoreline.
Wow. Ballard carbon dated the shells and along the ancient shorelines. Ballard said he believes that they have established a timeline for the catastrophic event, which estimates to happen around 5000 BC.
Yes, experts believe that this was around the time that Noah's flood happened. And Ballard and his team made another shocking discovery.
What's that?
Ancient houses, tools, and ceramics.
Wow, that's amazing.
Hello.
Today we're going to look at pathogens of flooding.
Floods carry dirty water, mud, and silt that might contain many pathogens. Look out for them.
We're going to survive 3 illnesses you should watch out for when there's a flood. Cholera is a viral illness by infection of the intestine caused by bacteria. The mode of entering the water sources are feces from someone who has cholera, bad sanitized water sources, and cholera-infected marine animals.
Symptoms include diarrhea, vomiting, muscle cramps, severe dehydration. Please take supplements such as antibiotics, oral rehydration salts, zinc supplements. Death can occur in a few hours if not taken.
Legionellosis is an infection that is caused by bacteria.
The Legionella bacteria are found naturally in the environment, usually in water. Inhaling water droplets that might contain bacteria can infect you.
Symptoms include fevers, red rashes, loss of appetite. Please take supplements such as antibiotics.
Leptospirosis is a bacterial disease that affects humans and animals. Bacteria of the genus Leptospirosa cause it.
This bacteria can spread through the urine of infected animals into the cells and lungs.
Symptoms include jaundice, abdominal pain, red rashes, fevers. Please take supplements such as doxycycline, penicillin.
What's better, modern physicians or Asian physicians?
Let's take a look. Ancient physicians, priests prayed to gods to help cure the sick. They also did animal sacrifices, used herbs, and they had surgical techniques that were really advanced for the ancient world. And they were poor.
Well, as you know today, most modern physicians cure the sick by very advanced technology. We created medicines that have been effective on humans, successful treatments, and efficient surgery. We don't perform much of the stuff they did back then nowadays.
A popular care of dead bodies in ancient Egypt was mummifying people. It preserved the body from decaying. They removed the body's internal organs and then wrapped the body with linen. Some preferred being cremated in ancient Greece and Rome. Their ashes were buried in the earth or spread in order to bring happiness and peace to the soul of the deceased person.
Thank you. Now with all this talk about floods, rivers play a big role in the formation of them. Now how do river systems form, you ask? There are millions and millions of river systems around the world, and they all have different origins. Rivers travel from their origin and they often meet or merge with other bodies of water, such as tributaries. This combination creates a river system. Rivers are surface water, and it is a good source of drinking water, and so is groundwater. Floods wash over the land and can provide the surface with more water, unless the water table is high and the ground can soak up the flood waters. The waters will pass through the permeable layer and into the aquifer. Floods do more than just covering the land with water. When a flood hits, there are losses in economic loss, environmental damage, deaths, and diseases. An example of economic loss is the flooding in China in 1998 that caused great damage. The economic loss was 156 billion Hong Kong dollars. 400 buildings were flooded, leaving 1 million or more homeless. Environmental damage can be done, and this is obvious. It can bring too much water, which will cause harm to the farmland. There is always likely injury to roads and bridges that can affect transportation.